Pickacard, your career and money moves. Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi, Pile One. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this image on the right-hand side of the screen. Today, we're going to be looking a little bit about your career and your money, whether you're currently employed or not. This is designed to help you through whatever it is. So first, we're going to look at the potential. First, we're going to look at where you're at now. Okay. So this is kind of like a vibe check. Then we're going to look at the potential you don't see. And last but not least, how to change and grow within that potential. So I'm going to go ahead and do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Pile number 1, this reading was inspired by a request from Delight to Fall Persuading. I hope I said that right. So they requested a reading on career, and here we go. Pile number 1, where you are at currently. You have the Judgment. You have the 3 of Wands. You have the Page of Wands. You have Temperance. You have Justice. And you have the Empress. Make sure I got that all on camera. It's kind of a big layout. So I just saw the number 1. It's in 1 minute. And I'm hearing you're the one. So pile number 1 with a Judgment card right here, this always really to me indicates that you're making an evaluation on people. So you've been evaluating the situation. You've been evaluating your current circumstances, and you see that maybe the ship is going nowhere, or it can go down that funnel really, really quick. Because I'm seeing like a black hole, almost like you feel like you're being absorbed, overlooked, overtaken. I feel like there's a lot of emotion involved right now. And you are definitely making a judgment regarding yourself and your current circumstances. So if you're currently employed, I feel like you're looking and making that judgment as far as like, is this good for me? Is it not? Which is why you would be here. With the 3 of Wands, I feel like you've been waiting. And the only thing that that waiting has drawn you to is closer and closer to this pit. I definitely feel like there's an element of feeling a little bit whitewashed or overtaken, or almost like falling in line or being absorbed by something or some kind of a work entity, right? And because of all the emotion behind it, I definitely don't feel like this is going to be good for you. And you know that. So pile number 1, we have the Page of Wands right here. And it's really interesting because I never actually noticed. These are the Edgar Allan Poe cards, by the way. The Page of Wands right here, the page is running away with an idea. The page is inspired, excited, and yet you have this devil behind going, no, conform, you must do as I say, you must do as everybody else has done forever and ever. Don't come at me with your new ideas and with your innovative thoughts and actions. No, no, nay, nay. We can't have that here. So pile number 1, we also have the Temperance. I feel like you're somebody who is an alchemist. First of all, I want to say that. even though I really feel that with the Magician. But I also get a lot of alchemy with the Temperance card. And with the Temperance card, I feel like you are really trying to balance things out. You're also some form of a healer, or somewhat of a healer. But I feel like this is like a very small island. I feel like you in your spirit, you feel like this space is too small for you, or it's just not highlighting or featuring you to your best of your abilities. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. We do what we have to do. And I heard get in to fit in, which is really kind of ironic considering this portion of the reading that we have done. And I feel like you're thinking, well, I need a paycheck. This is what I've been doing or got to do. I'll wait things out. I'll come with my ideas, see if they're receptive or if I could be utilized in any other way. Because I feel like you're really adhering to a bigger purpose in your heart, in your mind, and in your soul. So pile number 1, we have the Justice card right here. Interesting that it is Judgment and then Justice. And then we have the Empress right here. So a lot of powerful cards coming up for you. And most of all, I feel like with the Island right here and the Temperance card, it looks to me like a very small island. So even if it's a big corporation or big company, I feel like they are so set in their ways, and there's a feeling of like stagnancy or stasis, or even this pulling that's pulling you through that, can't you just conform, damn it? Can you just, do what we all do and be quiet and hush up and just be content because, you're working for the man, it's making that money, but you are emotionally imbalanced and not happy. I feel like you have these ideas that want to poke through, and maybe perhaps you shared it, but then you have that demon, that demon saying, conform, shame on you for having new ideas and so on and so forth. So that's a feeling that I'm getting. You want balance, you want equanimity, you want justice. Everyone to be able to not only pull their own way, like you're willing to do yours, but also have a place that is fair and just, and seeing your talents and your gifts and so on and so forth. I feel like you're not somebody who just wants to punch in and out and experience a mind-numbing 9 to 5. It would help if you had some kind of a spark or creativity in this job or this position. And because of that, I feel like you're feeling, well, this island is too small for me. Their dreams are too small for me. And it's not that you wouldn't be able to fit in and really hone your skills and whatnot. It's that the culture doesn't welcome it anyways. So I feel like with the Justice card, you are definitely looking at something different. You're going to look for something. In other words, I feel like you're looking for a different job. And with the Empress card, this might even be you working for self. I feel like this is like a mausoleum right here. And this could be something that you've traditionally done, or it's something that's within your family, or you're seeking to monetize a gift or a talent that you've been given. And I'm being led to think about, I forgot what it's called, but the lady who used to go into homes and she would really fold everything like super neat and packed and beautified basically. And she had a method, and I think it starts with a Kolinsky, I don't know, but something like that. So anything could be monetized if you really are the one behind your own dreams. And pile number 1, that's the biggest thing that I can tell you as of right now. I definitely feel like these people don't have a vision that you have. I definitely feel like you could fit in to get in, or get in to fit in if you wanted to. But there's a reason why you have that inner spark and that inner urge to do something with it. So let's visit a little bit more about the potential that you don't see. Pile number 1, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you guys commenting and subscribing. Thank you so very much. Oh, hello. We have, adventure. Yeah. The way that card flung out of my hand, the way I threw it, I'm like, I'm the F out of here. So it's a little bit of this lady, riding a butterfly. Butterfly is transformation and trying to haul the tower behind her, right? The Eiffel Tower. This is already set in stone. There's a feeling of like dogma, but I'm really trying to bring them into the new age. Maybe you have innovative ideas that the corporation or company you're working for is not embracing, or even if this is a partnership, it's like somebody who's like old school versus trying new different methods to make things a little bit more interesting, more exciting, and more appealing for the modern public. That's kind of the vibe that I'm feeling. But you are adventurous. You're willing to try different things. I see travel. I see innovation. I see excitement. I see revamping the status quo, and not necessarily reinventing the wheel, but maybe relocating the wheel, right? So something about utilizing like your life's experience. You could be well-traveled, you could be multilingual, and you're willing to carry the weight, you know, of whatever it is that you need to do. So that's not an issue. You're definitely a hard worker, and I feel like you are being recognized for that as well. So potentially you don't see, oh, yay, how nice. So you have protection. Pile number one, if you have been doubting and wondering, like, how do I do this and what do I do? And because I've been waiting, I feel like you've been waiting for quite some time to receive like a green light, like a recognition or the go ahead and so on and so forth. I feel like this is your recognition. It's like you're well aware that if you've been with this company for any time at all, it's going nowhere for you. Emotionally, it will drain you. It will suck the life out of you. If you are not currently employed, then you could still utilize this reading for the betterment. And this is you, again, waiting for things to come to you. And it's stating that you might have to be a little bit more active, more proactive, and chase innovative ideas in order to make yourself seen or stand out. Now, I'm also being led to this TikTok, I think, that I saw. And it was a guy who delivered his resume in like a donut box. So he dressed up as a delivery guy and brought a bunch of donuts and delivered his resume. And it says something to the effect of, you know, this is how other people's resumes get delivered, and then you eat mine or something. Sorry if that's not exactly it, but you get the gist of it. So I thought it was really clever, and I really love the idea. And I like the fact that this person was stepping out of the box, no pun intended, and really putting themselves out there. So another thing that I want to share with you is that pile number one, people are not going to see your vision. They're not going to really quite understand. A lot of people do live in fear of getting outside of that box, of pushing the envelope a little bit, especially if it's a company that's been established, tried and true. If it is very traditional and non-progressive, then yeah, they're going to, you know, buck the idea a little bit more than other people. And maybe perhaps you can just take what you utilize and learned so far, and with your ideas and with your fire, your excitement, and you can go elsewhere. Now, excuse me, some of you guys are looking to building a side business or a different hustle and things like that. Just use with it what is within your reach currently in order to really materialize that. Yeah, financial constraints. So how to change and grow your career money-wise. No, we can't take a ton of cards. We already have a ton, thank you. Is that you realize that, okay, you have financial constraints, but this is also looking at what is it that you signed up for, and maybe it was abundant at the time, what you needed at the time, and it really fit your mental, emotional, spiritual bill at the time. But wherever it is that you're currently at, right now you're looking at this pantry, and it seems pretty destitute. There's an old book, a couple of old coins that they're guarding. They're not going to spend it and make more. And they're also, you know, not going to give it because there's like spider webs right here. And with spider webs, I feel like connectivity. So I feel like a lot of this stuff is in the closet. It's outmoded, outdated. With the number 13, I affiliate that with like the death card and ending. So maybe this is saying that you need to end a situation in order for you to experience a glow up. Now, with the number 13, it boils down to a number 4, and that is standing on business, I hear. Yeah, with the angel of balance. So I feel like you can actually end this, maybe even slowly, because you've been in waiting, a period of stasis right now, like waiting right now. But with the financial constraints, you see that it's like, yo, it's not gonna grow any better. It's not gonna get any better. I'm either gonna penny pinch where I'm at right now, or make this dollar stretch, or be content with where I'm at, and that's the end of it. Or I have to navigate differently. Now, pile number 1, I'm also hearing that you have the strength and the will, the protection, and the adventure within you to be able to make a glow up. Something that other people do not expect out of you, in which case, you know, good for you. Now, I will say this, is that people don't have a lot of expectation out of themselves, let alone are they going to have the faith to believe in you. So pile number 1, my advice to you would be not to really, you know, go blabbing and talking about what it is that you aim to do or what you want or what your vision is. keep that stuff private between you and spirit to be able to really experience a very organic mindset, a very open mindset, and you don't have other people's dogma or preconceptions thrown into the mix right here that would run interference with your dream or with your ideas. So I feel like if you Rubik's Cube that, they're going to fall into place. Bam. For you. Also, I see a lot of abundance coming for you as well. Yeah, rest and rejuvenate. So maybe you need to do a little bit of meditation. I resemble that remark. But this right here is spirit actually embracing you gently and giving you answers. I feel like you are going to start radiating from the outside, from the inside out, and allowing things to come to you. And this almost gives me a little bit of like the image that you picked, right? This could have something to do with voicing your truth. This could have something to do with like meditation, a different way of doing things, or being a leader is what I'm hearing as well. With the number 19, it goes to a number 10, and that is about new beginnings, right? So maybe perhaps you're going to be pulling away and you know, just punching that time card in and out until you can do something different. Yeah. And this is you. Pile number 1. Did I say 2? I hope not. But pile number 1, I definitely see that you are looking. It's like the garden and the gate. Do I explore outside of this garden? And maybe this garden has so many different like flowers and whatever it is that they're growing that you want to know. You're like, what would it be like to make a black garden? What if I had a koi pond? And what if I was able to have a weeping willow? But none of that fits within this garden right here. So I feel like you're looking at the gate and you're kind of toying with the idea. You maybe dipped your toes out to get a feel for what's out there, floated your resume a couple of times. I feel like because the background right here is really nebulous, you don't really understand with the number 30 reducing to a 3, that you have cooperation out there, that you have a way to navigate things, even with your intuition, in fact. But the biggest thing is having faith in yourself, believing in yourself, and believing that what has been given to you, which is this desire to kind of break away, to have some healing experiences, and to do things in an equitable manner in order to grow your career, grow yourself, and grow your finances. Because I feel like this is all one thing. It isn't necessarily like, well, I just want to make money or I just want this. I feel like it has to do with a representation, a real and fair representation of who you are. And also pile number 1, I feel like you're going to have outside help in the not too distant future. I do feel like you have a connectivity to Egypt and things that are ancient. I feel like you are following to a rhythm and a tune and a calling that only you can hear. So try not to be too despondent when other people really don't understand that calling or don't see it in you. It is not their vision to see and to manifest. It is yours. And the universe fully supports you with a protection right here, with the star even on her hand right there. So I feel like pushing forward, manifesting, trying different things out and seeing exactly what it is that fits. Get into play mode right now, just the same way that you did when you were a child. And I feel like you're going to start seeing streams of money flow through. And it might be nominal, you know, small bits and pieces initially, but take heart. I feel like your people are going to be gravitating towards you. With the number 3 is a frequency that really makes me think of all the cogs working together and a glow up and a show up and teamwork. I feel like other people will be supporting your vision. But first you have to establish kind of a little bit more about what this vision is, how you're going to handle it, how you're going to mitigate the changes, and so on and so forth. And even the judgments during the time that you're doing this. Because I will, you know, I'm just going to say that even doing channels like this, people frown on that. People have been frowning on me for a long time, and including my other channel, PsychicMD, where I actually was shadow banned, and you know, they refuse to monetize it. So I'm going to have to go in there and overhaul that channel as well. But I'm just going to say, believe in yourself, continue doing and pursuing your dream, because you definitely have what it takes. And I know this wasn't a solid, like, this is what you're going to do, but I definitely feel like it has to do with healing, with manifesting, with following your own dream, whatever your own dream is. If you would like a personal reading, I'll put my Etsy store also in the link below. If you're liking these kind of readings, do like, share, comment, subscribe for future readings. Make sure that that bell is turned on. And much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 2. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and we're here to do your reading. Pile number 2, You chose this image on the right hand side of the screen. Beautiful image, totally captured my attention. Today we're going to be looking at your career and your money. This reading is inspired by the lights to fall pervading. I hope that I said that correctly. Thank you so much for your idea and for putting it out there. We're going to be looking at pile number 2, the potential, well, where you're at first, where you're at now, then the potential you don't see, and last but not least, how to change and grow in your career. We're going to go ahead and do the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Hi, pile number 2, your career and your money. Where are you at now? Pile number 2, you have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the King of Wands. You have the Hermit. You have the World. Oh, okay, what is that? The Magician reversed. Uh-oh, what's going on here? And Temperance. Okay. So first of all, pile number 2, you know, these are collective readings. We are optimistically reading for the masses. Now, what's currently going on is that you're receiving a little monetary return for a lot of passion, a lot of drive, a lot of, you bring a lot of excitement to the table. A lot of energy is what I get, is that you're putting a ton of energy into something that is nominal. I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles right here, comparatively, you're giving your all and then some, and even experiencing burnout at different times. And the return isn't exactly what you would expect or what you want. That's why you're here, right? Pile number 2, we also have the Hermit card right here. I feel like maybe perhaps you have withdrawn some of this energy and kept it on reserve, but also you've gone within. So with the Hermit card, we make that journey of one where we go within ourselves to really explore and to maybe even pull out things that we have left abandoned in our past, sometimes even during our childhood past, right? And this would make sense to me. I feel like there is a current need, or you are currently reevaluating self and where it is that you're headed. And if this is good enough for especially all the energy that you're putting forward here, to me, that's a little bit wild. So I feel like there's definitely an imbalance right here, which tells me that the Magician reverse, and this, you know, this is why you're feeling out of balance. You're feeling out of sorts. You feel like you're your energy, your stamina, all that you're putting into it, it's not reciprocal. It's returning nominal on your investment. So that's time, energy, money, blood, sweat, tears. And I see the world right here. So for most of you, I'm going to say that you already have made up your mind that you have no choice but to pack it up and move. Like this could be a physical move, metaphorical move, emotional. And some of you guys are actually going to pack it up and move emotionally before you ever do on the real front, right? Before you quit your job and things like that. So I think that you're starting to look towards the road less traveled. I feel like whatever this is also is like, it's obvious to me that you don't feel like you fit in, right? Look at your energy. Look at your energy. And I feel like you have no one around to even witness it or even be like, oh, wow, what a great job you're doing. Pile number 2. Thank you so much for expending all of your energy and making us, making us rich. No. Thank you for bringing the light into the world so that we can really see what's going on. Instead, what I see is almost like a sheriff's badge with an Ace of Pentacles. And I don't feel like this is like a badge of honor or anything, or that you are the sheriff or that the sheriff even sees you. I feel like everything's like monitored, and I'm hearing monitored and recorded. So actually your place of business could actually be monitoring and recording everything that you say, which is, typical of businesses, especially. I don't feel like we talk about it enough. I worked in places where there are cameras out in the open, and then, there are places where they will do audio surveillance. And so I feel like that is currently what is happening right now, is you maybe don't even see that there's a lot of surveillance, but you can feel it. You can feel it in your bones. You can experience it. And also the part of that is interesting to me because it seems to be more of a personal thing and not like a professional. It's the King of Wands has a lot of ideas, right? And maybe perhaps these people, they're not really interested in like what you're doing work-wise, but they want to get to know, or a little bit about like how you feel about things, or your life outside of work, or what are you passionate about, or what are you saying currently, and so on and so forth. So I don't know. I don't feel like this is even helping to improve the mood or the morale. Then we have the Hermit. Yeah, you going within. Maybe there's a need for you to connect a little bit with the ocean, with Mother Earth, with Pachamama, getting your feet grounded into the ground. We have the World right here, indicating endings, but also this could indicate the internet, right? This could be successful completion of something that you have graduated. And with a white horse, I feel, and you're totally armed. This guy looks a little bit like the Tin Man from behind, okay? So maybe you're feeling a little bit rusty. Maybe you had your own business and then you came and worked for a company, and now you're feeling rusty because you feel like there's a need to leave. And the clouds could look a little bit ominous because we all got to be paying our bills and that car note and things like that, right? But the biggest thing I see right here is you have the Magician reverse. So you're feeling a little bit like resignated, a little bit jaded, feeling like maybe perhaps when you went to college or you had these dreams on what you want to do with your life, they didn't manifest, or things weren't turning out the way you thought, and you instead wound up trading like your passion for $1. And hey, that's what we do. I hate to say it, but as adults, we do a lot of that. So I feel like there is going to be a return of that, but you have to like mentally, emotionally close that chapter and allow for new manifestation to come through, because maybe you are still like, okay, maybe they'll recognize me, or maybe I'll be able to get a raise, maybe I'll get a different position. And actually in this card, I'm seeing it's almost like a person in the flames holding you back. So you could have somebody wanting to ride your coattails, is what I'm hearing. That's like taking credit for what it is that you're doing. And you could have somebody who's like really being stubborn. They're digging in their heels and they're grabbing the horse. I feel like here's another hand, here's a face, here is the hair. And they do not like want you to proceed. They don't want you to glow up. They don't want you basically to elevate, because I feel like that would be almost an insult on them, or they feel like it is their time to shine or whatnot. Or almost like if you got any attention or recognition for the power that you bring, it would be a slight or an offense to them. I hope that makes sense, okay? So right here we have Temperance, you restoring balance, you healing from this, you being able to see that you actually have a lot of alchemy within you, that you are indeed the magician, you have all the skills, but maybe you're feeling like I'm rusty, like that Tin Man, even though that's not what it's meant to be. The Tin Man has a little bit of rest that needs to be kind of dealt with in order for this magician to be able to see that they do have skills, maybe a little bit rusty. You need to brush up on that resume, brush up on your skills, and so on and so forth, so that you can have a little bit more confidence, and that's going to lead you to a more emotional stability, and also the ability to believe in yourself more, your skills, and so on and so forth. So the potential you don't see. Pile number 2, kindred spirits. You don't see that maybe there are other people in this business that you're currently in that are in the same boat, that feel the same way, but also you don't see that you're drawing kindred spirits wherever it is that you go, because you're indeed a lamp. I heard a fire starter. Yeah. And so I think that you're, she looks very demure, right? I feel like you're really thinking things through. It's not like you're about making rash decisions. And the potential that you don't see is that you have a minute to kind of catch your breath, think things through, bounce things off of some people if you feel like they're on that same trajectory, or if there's somebody who is open to change. Don't be talking to people that are really cookie cutter, or don't have any new ideas, or always discuss other people versus ideas and whatnot, because those people are going to be stagnant. They don't carry your same energy, same vibration. So really have the wisdom to know who is kindred in spirit with you in order to help you make a choice. I feel like you want peace and stability. I'm all space. You want space. Okay. So how to change and grow your money. So look at your contract and really be impartial about this. Was this what you expected with the number 6? I feel like not only are you looking at a contract and are you being paid, what you deserve? Are you bringing too much to the table and not being compensated fairly? Do you have maybe a lot of knowledge that is not being used currently, or a lot of knowledge that is not being compensated fairly? And with this white dress right here, echoed by the white dove, I really feel like you guys are very spiritual minded, that it's not about like, oh, I want all the things and so on and so forth. You're not looking at this 3D world as a be all end all. But by the same token, you want to revisit the contract and maybe see if you can get a raise, if you can change positions, if you can do something a little bit different in order to improve your monetary value. I feel like palette number 2, employers forget that employees, right, the worker bees, really need to have a clear vision as well. They need to have a little bit of momentum, a little bit of excitement, or a little bit of kudos in order to continue having that productivity. I've seen a lot of businesses and people walk away from these businesses who are really incredible employees and so on and so forth, but because they weren't really appreciated or even acknowledged, so on and so forth, they wound up leaving for greener pastures elsewhere. So caring connection, yeah, that's interesting. So pile number 2, I definitely feel like you have almost like you have people that actually recognize this about you already, but I feel like people outside of your industry that are willing to elevate, to compensate fairly, to really make a judgment that is equitable, that is fair, but also that has a trajectory for growth, that has, I don't want to say no ceiling, because almost like everything has a ceiling, but this feels to me like you've reached the ceiling. You are the ceiling, right? With all this fire, the King of Wands, you have your own ideas, your own innovations, your own method of doing things that maybe you can implement here, but it's just not recognized or compensated. And I feel like your spirit is wilting. So something about this has to do with like a spiritual glow up, spiritual show up, and you not allowing your resources or your talents to be able to be used and abused without fair compensation. Okay. So definitely see that you're going to be moving on. Yeah, and you definitely have help with this chakra right here, the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. She's incredibly beautiful. I'm not one that's done a lot of angel work, but I've experienced 2 different angel experiences that are really, really powerful. And I feel like you could just allow yourself to be led by spirit. I know that's like easy for me to say, but also I feel like you're in connection with spirit. Like you are getting it. If this is your pile, I feel like it should be firing on all cylinders. Nothing that you haven't felt before, that you really acknowledge within yourself, but you could have some fear of wanting to remain in this edifice, in this building, in order not to have to go out in the middle of nowhere, like no man's land. I don't know if I have what it takes to create what I need, what I want. With the number 41, it reduces to change. And this one came out in pile number 1, and so did this. This one in an identical position. So you're going to have helpers helping elevate you, helping to steer and navigate you a little bit. And I feel like, I don't know if the ships now are different, probably, but way back in the day, the ships used to be really maneuvered by a little small rudder underneath the ship's surface. Small, you know, comparatively to scale, I guess you would say. But I feel like you're going to have people in your life that have the ability to help steer you. Oh, if you do this a little this way or a little that way. And they could be like mentors or peers that you kind of like glean wisdom from, you know, and it could look like anything. So I feel like a lot of changes for you. That reduces to 5. That reduces to 5 as well. So I see a lot of changes for you. You do have choices to make, but know that if it steals your peace, the price is too high, friend. Okay. So pile number 2, if it's robbing your peace, if it's robbing your balance, then it is just not for you. With the 7th chakra, if you meditate at all, you can get messages on your crown chakra. Somebody said they felt like it was honey dripping on their head. I feel like it's a little bit of like ants or electricity on my crown chakra. So this could serve as confirmation for you that this reading is for you. But also when you're meditating and asking spirit what next and how to do things, I definitely see the World and the Magician. I'm pulling, oh my goodness, stop. Did I pull that on camera? I don't know. I'll have to review that. But I feel like you have everything. You have old knowledge, you have new knowledge, you have alchemy in your blood. So there is absolutely nothing to fear. I know that, again, it's easy for me to say, but look, we have the echo of the number 5 with a lot of changes, and the number 3 with the support, with cogs working together in order to really help manifest the career and the money that you want. But most of all, I feel like this could even be for my tarot readers or those that have spiritual businesses, that this could be a confirmation that this is your glow up. I feel like you guys are incredibly spiritual. So you could be my readers, my energy workers, Reiki workers, acupuncture, acupressure, massage therapist, any of those things, but not limited to, right? So have confidence in your tools and your gifts. Maybe seek a word or two of wisdom from your mentors or from your peers, because I do feel like you have people on your level that see you for who you really are and what you really hold and what you bring to the table in order to navigate this. I do feel like this period of difficulty is you're being held back more by fear than anything else, because I feel like you've already said, okay, well, I brought my whole milkshake to the yard. I don't know why that always comes up. But nothing is happening with it. Like I give my milkshake away and it's done. Then I'm back to square one. And you need something bigger. And I don't feel like this is like, ooh, I need all the luxuries of life and this and that, maybe. But I feel like you need a place where your spirit is at peace, your soul is at peace. You feel like there's balance and equanimity, that you're fairly compensated, that you feel also that you're being recognized as somebody who brings a lot to the table and not glossed over. I feel like where you're at currently, they do not see you. They use you, right? That is the man, that is the machine, door to personal healing and happiness. And that's what you're looking for. I pulled extra cards for you. Don't be telling no other piles. Pile number 2, the door to personal healing and happiness. And the Magician and the mirror right here. So there's a need to look in the mirror, but also utilizing other people's eyes, because maybe sometimes we can be so thick in the sauce that we can't really see straight. That is what I have for you. If you're liking this kind of reading, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like a reading on. Maybe perhaps I might pick that one to do as well. And thank you so much. Until next time, namaste. Hi, pile number 3. My name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot. You chose this image on the right-hand side of your screen. Today, we're going to be looking at your career and your money. Uh-oh. Is that a sign? We'll find out. We're going to be looking at where you're at now. That'll be your vibe check. Next, we're going to be looking at your potential, the potential you don't see. And last but not least, how to change and grow in your career, okay? So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and do your shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Pile number 3. I'd like to take a moment to thank you for being here, for your support, for your career and your money. Pile number 3, we have the Sun. This is where you're currently at, your current vibe check. We have the 6 of Swords reversed. We have the Star. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Swords. And we have the 4 of Swords. So, let me have a minute just to absorb this here. Pile number 3, the first thing I'm going to say is with the Sun, this is the most auspicious card, the happiest card of all. I feel like definitely currently in your position right now, you have a lot of people that admire you. I feel like you have great social standing with your employer, or if you are the employer, within the community. Feel like your product or your work is very well received. People think you do an incredible job. But by the same token, I feel like you could have a dream of evolving something. I feel like this could have to do with maybe you guys being business owners or inheriting a business or a business that's already in progress and in full swing, right? With the 6 of Swords, this is that maybe things could be feeling a little bit tumultuous right now, and you don't have the ability to get out of it, or you feel like you don't. It's not like you could just pick up and leave. Maybe you have an investment economically in this company. Maybe you're part owner or you are the owner and things like that. So you can't just up and leave. And I'm getting like for somebody, not everybody. And if you're feeling this in your bones, you already know I'm getting a separation of a partnership, something dissolving, like within a matrimony or something like that, that affects the finances and affects the business as well. That could be just for 1 or 2 people. But pile number 3, what I have for thee is that you definitely have a dream and a vision. Like this isn't over. And even though this work, this job, this thing is performing, and then you're performing as well, and things are going well, relatively, there's a feeling of like discontent, a feeling of feeling locked in. And maybe perhaps you painted yourself into a room to where the room is all painted and beautiful, and you decided to paint like that very corner last, and you turn around and now you've got to wait for the paint to dry, right? So there's an element of I can't move right now. I can't change things right now because it is progressing. Things are going the way that they should be strategically. This is how I designed it, and it's going very well. Now, if you're not the business owner, then again, that just tells me that you have a lot of admirers, a lot of people that look upon you with incredible favor. You could even have favor within the company. You could be a favorite, but something about this company still makes you feel like, okay, I'd like to revamp, or I kind of want to glow up. Because to be perfectly honest, pile number 3, it really appears as us as human beings, once we achieve a goal, we always want more. We want what's the next thing and what's the next thing. There's nothing wrong with that inherently, but it's going to be very important for you to really kind of bask in the glory of what it is that you've achieved thus far, whatever goals that you've achieved, even if you're not publicly acknowledged or monetarily acknowledged from other people. Now, with the Star, I definitely feel like there's been healing to be had, but you're looking at your reflection, and I hear somebody say, this is it? Is this it? Like, is this what life has to offer? Also, when I soften my gaze, I'm looking out into the forest. I see somebody peeking over a tree. It's not a real person, you guys. It's just simply something that I'm seeing in the leaves, if you will. I don't know how to describe it. But I see somebody peeking over with like a beard, just kind of looking at you, kind of making an assessment. So this could be people even making an assessment, trying to take your temperature and say, hey, is this person happy where they're at? Or are they content? Or what's going on? Because you have all the success and yet you don't seem happy, that kind of a thing. So it might be well known that you have something about you that's like a mystery depression or a mystery sadness or a mystery, almost like everybody in the room could be happy, and then all of a sudden you kind of get within your head and you mentally check out, and people wonder, hey, where are you going? Like, are you you know, you're not celebrating with us. Like, this is what we wanted, wasn't it? We planned for this, didn't we? We strategized for it, and here we are. And yet your mind is elsewhere. Your heart is elsewhere. We have the Three of Pentacles right here. And I feel like, okay, some people, I feel like some coworkers or somebody that you work with could be eavesdropping, that kind of a thing. Three of Pentacles is like cooperation to me, all the cogs working together. And yeah, it's interesting to me that these two cogs are just watching you work, that kind of a thing. So pile number 3, it could be that you put in a lot of elbow grease where you're at. And maybe this is even your brainchild, but I don't know, maybe because some people are eavesdropping or listening, or gossip could be something that's like breaking your heart or bothering you. Some form of almost like people banding together, like there are two different camps now, and so on and so forth. And I feel like there's been a division. Whatever this division is served to really separate you. Even though you have the favor of other people, somehow other people came in between, like your reputation, or you're standing with the business owner, or you're standing with the higher ups, those that can promote, and so on and so forth. And I feel like, you know, they're busy like watching you toil, watching you work. It's no doubt that you have the skill, but something about your reputation could have fallen, which makes you feel like, you know what, this is for the birds, I just don't want it. So other people could be gleefully enjoying the fact that your reputation seems to have fallen from grace. You could be experiencing Three of Swords, right? This is like emotional, mental, spiritual pain. And maybe it's not like an outward thing because you still feel like, okay, I'm still here present, I'm still working. But in your heart of hearts, I feel like with the Three of Swords, you're kind of ruminating about 3 things. Maybe it was 3 people that band together to really make sure that you're not glowing up, or that you are seen from a whole different perspective. And again, I feel like gossip and strategy and teams working against you could be the culprit right here. But this is served to really shatter your heart, because I feel like you put your mind, body, and soul and elbow grease into things. And unfortunately, it just really, they utilize your own work against you somehow. So that's what I'm feeling right here. If this narrative fits, then it fits. If it doesn't, then you can skip on and watch a different one. But for most of you guys, that is going to be in this bracket. Then I see you with this Four of Swords right here. And this is you really resting, recuperating, really getting an idea of what really transpired, or what transpired, what happened. I'm getting like maybe a fall from grace, but you still have like your own dream and your glow up. So you still have a lot of respect, but somebody interfered here. Now, I can cite an instance, actually, kind of an interesting thing. I'm like, should I or shouldn't I? Do I even care any longer? Maybe we'll keep it moving. But pile number 3. Well, this was supposed to be revealed in a minute, but I feel like with this 4 popping up right here, you know what happened here. Your crown chakra told you everything. I feel like you know who's been conspiring and who's been like against, who's been chipping away and eroding maybe at your self-esteem or at your reputation, or you're standing with other people, and so on and so forth. I feel like they've been banding together and just toiling mercilessly, making you miserable is the feeling that I'm getting. The potential you don't see. No, you can't have all these cards. Pile number 3. What do we have for me? The potential you don't see is grace. Okay. So you definitely have a lot of grace. I feel like you've dealt with this grace. I feel like you know what is happening. I'm like, is that a squirrel throwing nuts at the side of the building? I don't know. Something's going on, but pile number 3, that you have a lot of grace. I feel like you have a lot of favor, that a lot of people look at you as being really kind of regal and beautiful and different. Beauty keeps standing out because Shashi from the Scorpion Tarot 222, she always says that flowers really have a lot to do with beauty. And I got that from her. That's one thing that really stuck in my brain. If you don't know who she is, go visit her. She's here on YouTube and she has an incredible platform. I mean, you guys will be blown away. I'm going to keep it moving. You have grace, but also I feel like you could be different nationality or just very different from people around you. I will say that in a release. What? Yeah. I feel like you feel kind of trapped, especially with that 6 of Swords, not knowing how to like navigate, how to get out of it, and so on and so forth. And we have the release right here. So you have the grace to be able to release yourself in a graceful manner. I don't feel like this is a situation where you're going to like blow out of a job or anything like that. But I do feel like You have other things to do. And I feel like with so much like conspiracy, I feel like conspiring against you, that kind of a thing. You know the half of it, but you don't know the full of it. And I think that intuitively you're being protected. Your actions are being protected. Also your reputation. But with the Bindi highlighted right here in this 6th chakra, the Archangel Michael, I feel like you have spirit and even angels coming to your defense. So people really know your heart. I feel like those that are trying to do a smear campaign against you, it's really not going to go well for them in the long run. And I feel like by the time this is discovered, it might be too late, because you would have lost heart in this whole situation, because your heart is really what's at stake here. So appreciation. Yeah, we have appreciation. This is how to move things forward. And action. Wow. What? Okay, let's just do this one while we're at it. All tied up. That gives me the same vibe as this. You could be tied up in your head. And a lot of these things are ideas and notions, right? Illusions. Because we picture in our minds isn't always a fact. And simply because we feel it doesn't necessarily mean it is truth. Now, pile number 3, what I have for you right here is really reducing things down to like what you bring to the table and seeing, you know, has this been a satisfying experience? Do you have a lot of opponents at work? Is it worth jockeying for attention? Because I feel like a spirit of competitiveness, or let me take you down a peg. Or this could be another scenario also where somebody in the company just really kind of talked about you like you were the bee's knees. Ooh, pile number 3, and you wait till you meet them. And it really inspired, darkly, I might add, it inspired a lot of jealousy among the other people there. And therefore, that's another reason why you could have been the target of dark energy, right? I feel like these people actually want you in your mind. And I feel like if you've had any negative experiences at work, they are actually, you know, happy about it. And well, I mean, that's what they're doing. So what else can I say about it? But pile number 3, I feel like you have a lot of grace, a lot of beauty. I feel like you're not even going to bother like pointing things out like that. I feel like you're just going to look for something that is going to really untie you, unbind you with this release. And the 6th chakra could be like the 6th month of the year, June, right? Or it could be the 4th month of the year, April. I counted on my fingers behind the camera. I'm just going to admit that right now. But I feel like shortly, in the not too distant future, you are going to make a move. And I feel like I love how she's barefooted right here. And yeah, she's barefooted as well. Something about being very, very grounded, very like bowing out gracefully. Like, okay, well, I get that my energy isn't wanted here and things are just not going well. So I'm going to have to move on. And how you're going to do that is, first of all, by showing your appreciation for current circumstances. It can be really difficult to feel like you appreciate current circumstances if you're going through some kind of a heartache, heartbreak, that kind of a thing, especially if you are not being appreciated. To turn around and really project energy of appreciation to your workforce, to your team members, to your higher ups, the bosses, whatever, even if this is corporate, right? But I feel like in doing so, this is going to allow you to open up different doors. The fact that you're energetically surrendering. And I feel like you never have actually swung back and said, you know, that's not true or whatever. I feel like people are going to really understand that people were banning in order for you to have a downfall, right? I feel like people are banding together, and that will be made clear. But by the time it is clear, it's going to be too late for them. And I feel like I already said that. Sorry about that. But with all of these green little things right here, appreciation all tied up, I feel like, you know, when you decide to release yourself and really heartfelt express gratitude for your work, it doesn't have to be to them directly. It could be just meditating. I'm just holding my heart chakra and just really telling spirit, you know, I'm so grateful for this experience. It has been painful, but I'm really grateful for the lessons that I've learned. I'm also grateful to see that at times I trusted when I shouldn't have, and I went against my own intuition and so on and so forth. Like whatever it is that you're grateful for, there's really a manner to release yourself from being all tied up. And I feel like because your head is covered and all these things, I think that you're going to connect more with spirit. Maybe even with Archangel Metatron. This could be a very powerful influence in your life right now, or maybe you're doing a lot of work with Metatron, or this could be an indication that you should be doing some exploration of Archangel Metatron and seeing how this fits into your life and how you could utilize Metatron's energy to really embrace you and help climb out of whatever it is that you want to climb out of and really reach your goal, which is this star, right? Grace and release. For one or two of you, this could also indicate that you might be released from work, but that you'll handle it with grace, and that you know that Spirit has your back, and you will receive an odd sense of comfort that regardless, you're headed in the right direction and that it was meant to be. Pile number 3, broken heart. Well, that's not helpful. The man holding a heart. And the moon goddess. Well, we're going to take that one too, but I'm going to stop taking cards because that's a lot. Then we have the angel of strength. So this could be stating, pile number 3, that, yeah, you've experienced a lot of heartache, heartbreak, and maybe also this whole thing with work is being mushified in an experience where you've had many endings, a lot of heartache and things like that. And you know the signs down to a T, I'm getting as well. And maybe a lot of those experiences are going to be released. I feel like you are going to experience a release in that in order for you to be able to move on. Okay, so no more 3 of Swords ruminating and no more looking at, you know, what caused you heartache, heartbreak, and things like that. You're going to start seeing the future. And whether this is a partner or an offer of a job or collaboration, cooperation kind of a thing, I feel like you're going to be very optimistic. Now, for some of you guys, this is interesting. I never noticed that before. The man literally holding this heart. It could be somebody maybe returning that had broken your heart. And this has something to do with how you view rejection and you view glow-ups and so on and so forth regarding work. A personal rejection from a male, even if you were like not raised by your father, that kind of a thing, could weigh in a lot, because I think the father energy has a lot of ties to your ability to manifest your monies and things like that. So I feel like this could have something to do with a healing power that you're going to come across, a balm for your soul, if you will. And then the goddess of the moon is following your intuition, and know that everything that Spirit is bringing to you, just tap in a little bit, meditate 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can. And I feel like you'll benefit greatly from this. So I definitely see a lot of progress. I see you healing your heart. I also see a lot of like letting go of things, a lot of like things that won't seem rational to you. You're like, why am I feeling this way? And you're just, let me tell you, I've done that. I've done that. I had a purging, you know, even recently, where I just like cried for like 3 days and couldn't stop. So maybe you're having a purging of your heart and of your soul, but Spirit's here to reassure you that this kind of a purging is really healing for your soul. It is a balm, and also it's going to cleanse away a lot of debris, but also build you back up to help you to be a clear vessel for receptivity of the male energy, or for guidance. Maybe even for some of you guys for love. It doesn't have to be romantical. It could be platonic, but whatever this is, I feel like you're going to be following your dream and your wish, and you are going to be divinely supported. So a lot of this purging is getting people out of your energy that do not belong there to begin with, right? The deceptors, the ones that have nothing better to do but plot other people's downfall. They can't build anything good with their own hands. They want to destroy. So that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. If this reading has been of any help at all, please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Namaste.